So hey guys, welcome back to another video and welcome back to another live stream today in a very wet Canada, and just on the end of qualifying now you can see Marcos on pole with the 16.9, then it's a whole half a second back to Felix, then it's Damien up in P3, then it's Steve Moraine down in P5. That's the best he's going to do for today, rocking a special Canadian livery for his helmet. And a P6 for Moraine. So I did actually miss the first bit of qualifying, so Ryan's going to give us a quick rundown of the qualifying session.
Once again it was another wet qualifying session. I believe we had one last week, but it dried up towards the end. But it had been raining the whole time, so yeah, Marcos on pole with a very good lap, half a second above the rest. And Felix, I didn't quite catch Damien's lap in the end there, he must have put that in right at the end. And then there's Steve, you guys, Moraine dropping down quite a few positions after the final lap. So it was a very all-round qualifying. Jarno, earlier on in the session, managed to put the car on pole, but obviously I think the tracks started to dry up a little bit, so his time wouldn't have been very representative, but still a solid performance from all the drivers, so should be a good race today.
Yeah, and clearly Moraine, as we've seen before, struggling. Ignore my seat, but Moraine seemingly struggling in the wet, down in P6, was it?
Yeah, it was P6. He was up in P3, but after some people did their last laps, and Niles is in the session now, I believe, Pro Fin 2007.
Ah, yeah, Niels. I think I'm not really sure how you say his name, but we're going to go with Nils. Friend of Yannick.
Niles is in the session.
Ryan's, your audio is working perfectly, which is music to my ears. As now we just wait for everyone to load in. Nils may be able to get a car. He is one of the reserves for this league. We have a couple of reserves participating, which is good. And one thing that we do, Ryan, you are aware of this, we are running a slightly new rule set actually in Gprl. It doesn't really affect the racing or the drivers, but it does affect the penalty system as the drivers start their formation lap. And Ryan, obviously everyone starts on a fresh choice of tyres. Due to the qualifying being wet, no one opts for the Hypersoft. So what do you make of that one?
I'm just gonna get the up there. Yeah,
yep.
I think that the Hypersofts, it's a little bit. If you've got a fresh set of tires, you wouldn't. The Hypers aren't really ideal. Yeah, they're quick, but I don't think there's much of a difference between them and the Ultras. And plus, the Hypers in this game are terrible. No matter what track you're on, they only take you about 3-4 laps, as Marcos is round on the formation lap already. But yeah, I think the Hypers are a very risky choice to pick, especially if you get a free choice of tyres.
Yeah. So you'd expect the strategy to be a one-stop today for everyone?
Yeah, I would think so, especially the super soft runners. That could definitely be a one-stop for them. But the Ultras, they could maybe try and do a two-stop if they're feeling very quick out on track.
Okay, so who are your eyes on for today? I think Marcos, yeah, he's got a championship to protect. Well, he's got a championship fight to make, really, as we enter the final third of this Gprl season. Marcos is not at the top, Moraine is at the top, down in P6 is Moraine, qualifying there. But if we look at the standings actually haven't been updated from last time. That is my bad, so I need to do that.
But one thing I want to point out.
Yep.
We've got Damien in third, and we know what his race starts can be like. So he could maybe even challenge the likes of Marcos and Felix into turn one, maybe, because we know how good he is on the starts. So could get a very interesting start across the board.
Yeah, and that's my bad for not updating the standings. We'll hopefully have them done after today. But I think we're all just about ready. All fine and dandy to go for round number 10. Let's kick off the final third of Gprl Season 4. It's lights out and away we go. Marcos seemingly getting an alright start. Felix, can he challenge into turn 1? The road is very short up ahead. Felix is going to stick his nose in, can't make it work round the outside. Steve's managed to get up into P3. Damien round the outside of P4. That's Moraine squabbling further behind with the Torossa getting past up into P5. Vital for his races. You guys is going to try round the outside. Don't think he can make that work. And it's Esteban, the two Torossas inheriting 6th and 7th respectively. Then it's Amos still in P8. Yano with a good start up into... he's actually dropped down slightly, but it's Harrison, the Gprl reserve, making up places. Further forward, there's moving around. Damien has a look up. Moraine. Oh, Damien's been turned around. I don't believe there's any contact. There was contact, but I don't believe there's any damage. So that's Damien down on the brinks of the top 10. That pushes Moraine up into P4. As they're using a lot of track limits there is Moraine, so that'll be a couple of warnings. But further back, it's the two Torossas having a good start, a good clean start. You guys holding position. Then Esteban is Amar behind, looking quite punchy. Can he run one down the inside? Don't think he can. And then we got the two Saubers, Harrison standing in for Yannick today. And it's Hugo actually squabbling with Damien. Hugo a reserve, very consistent reserve in this league. And he's in the McLaren today, filling in for Karam. And he's going to look round the outside on those super soft tyres. Also further behind, I believe it's Kevin making his second appearance in the league. Will he make it 3 wide? He does. He has a little look, but into the final chicane, there's just nowhere to go, and can't make that work, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Max, I believe, has dropped out the session. I'm not entirely sure. But at the end of the first lap, Marcos is starting to pull a gap to Felix, who is dropping back into the clutches of the Ferrari of Steve. As we've seen multiple times in this league, it does seem to be Mercedes, Red Bull and Ferrari at the top 3. So yeah, Ryan, bit of a hectic start there. Oh, someone's off. I believe that's Esteban. Esteban is off. There's been a massive crash there. He went over the top of the Sauber. Thank God for the halo. Right, I was just about to calm down and then that happened. So, right, I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but I believe you guys has damage. Or he's going slow. That's happening. I'm not entirely sure what's happening. We've got cars jumping over each other. I'm not sure if you had that on your screen, Ryan. What did you see that crash or?
No, I just heard your reaction. I had to quickly switch over. Oh, McLaren's round on the hairpin.
Hugo, yep. That's a shame. Right, so as we calm down, however, we have Kevin actually making his way up the points as Marcus sets another fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Amar in the pits, so goes Damien, so they're probably gonna go in for a new front wing lap. It's Kevin up into P8. Nils up into P9 as there's more yellow flags as Hugo has spun at the chicane. The Wall of Champions, and it's been a bit of a miserable race so far for Hugo, but there's still a lot of time left in the Grand Prix, so I wouldn't worry too much. New front wing for Damien. I believe Esteban will also get a new front wing. So now we calm down. We're on board with the championship leader and defending champion. What did you make of that start, Ryan?
Oh, it was absolutely hectic. Well, Moraine obviously got a very fantastic start from, I believe it was P6, managed to gain 2 positions. And Jarno's going really slow. I'm not sure what's
Jarno got a problem?
I don't know, he went really slow coming to the chicane. Maybe him and his teammate got a little bit tangled up, and Jarno, I don't know. We'll probably have to see after the race. But
yeah, we'll have to speak to him regarding that.
Damien, very unlucky with his start. He's gone down 9 positions, and I believe that was all in the first lap.
Possibly, with the contact.
Yeah.
But yeah. To the final chicane, we're watching Nils and Kevin, 2 reserves for this league. Nils actually recently learning how to do the manual gears, so shout out to him for doing that.
Esteban's going really slow on the back straight.
Esteban
not
is
the
struggling.
back straight, just before the hairpin, and Marcos is going to catch up to him probably at the hairpin. So, wonder what will happen here.
I'm not entirely sure why this is.
Oh, Damien! Oh, there was a bit of lag there, but
no?
Damien went right into the wall on my screen, but I guess that is not what actually happened.
So what's Esteban going to do here? Esteban steers way clear.
He's going to let them past, yep.
I believe he'll let Felix through also, yep. No questions asked about that. I go Steve through, so I believe Esteban complying with the rules quite nicely. One thing that I've noticed, not sure if you have, Ryan, a nice little custom helmet there for Moraine for this Canadian Grand Prix.
Oh yeah, I saw that in qualifying. I thought he had it for the last round for some reason. It didn't click that it could just be a helmet for the circuit.
Yeah. Well, it's not his usual helmet. Moraine usually runs with the yellow colour, I believe. So yeah, nice little touch there from Moraine to add that. And now I believe Esteban letting Harrison through, as we got a bit of a pack of three forming behind Kevin. It's Kevin, Nils, and then Yano, who obviously spun off. But these two, oh, there's been contact.
Oh!
There's contact there. Esteban and Kevin come together. I believe Kevin will have damage from that. That's something we're gonna have to look at with the blue flagger. Yano looking around the outside now of Nils.
Yeah, Kevin
and
went really slow. Yeah, Kevin's got end plate damage on the right hand side. You could see he was lifting off on that right hander, and you should
been
really
hit.
have full power. Oh, Force India.
I believe there's a bit of contact there.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Yano has got through, and I believe this is Kevin now trying to get past.
Esteban is still there.
Esteban's still there cutting across.
Esteban just cut across in the braking zone. That's very dangerous.
So I'm not sure what this is all about. We'll have to speak to him after the race regarding that incident.
I think it's all down to the blue flag. The blue flag, you're meant to let them past, and it looks like he's just messing around a little bit here, and you can't be doing that as Kevin comes to the pits now.
Moraine picking up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Meanwhile, Yano hounding Nils for P8, P7. Sorry, he looks run down the inside. Can't make that work.
Esteban's hit the back of Yarno slightly. I don't think there's a puncture or anything like that. I haven't seen someone receive a puncture from an impact yet, so...
There's Yano down the inside. Good move there from Yano if he can hold it around the outside. Nils is going to have to try. He's going to look down the inside again. Can't make it work, but good move there from Yano up into P7, who's currently actually being outshone by his teammate Harrison, the reserve, up into P6. Incredible start Harrison has had.
Oh, Force India's
but
coming
yeah,
around the
Nils
outside
looking
now.
back around the outside. That was very close to contact. He did get squeezed and comes back off the escape road, does claim the position, but he will have to give that one back, and he does, complies with them rules quite nicely. He's going to send one back down the inside though.
Nice
Lovely
one down the
move.
inside.
Very good move.
Very slow around there. Oh no! Oh.
I believe he's struggling there on traction. But yeah, nice moving around there.
Sector 3.
That's Esteban.
Oh, Esteban
doing
is,
some donuts for whatever reason.
I'm not sure if we can allow this sort of thing, because it kind of ruins the aspect of racing. I don't think we can allow this sort of thing.
No, a penalty will be coming his way later.
Yeah.
Well,
if he gets a flag for if he gets a penalty for the blue flags, he should surely get another penalty for this, because, well, if you're going to come into the league to do this, you might as well just not take part, because it's causing a yellow flag, and some of the drivers
causes
might
a
get
safety car. Oh, Nils is out the session. I'm not sure why that could be. Possibly a crash somewhere.
Yeah, he's probably crashed out.
There's a yellow flag in sector 1. He's gone straight on.
Oh, yep. Yep.
Looking at
No
Damien's
safety
on board.
car, surprisingly.
So no safety car yet, but if Esteban causes a safety car, then we're looking at... what is he doing? Send him a Can you send him a message, Ryan? Don't worry, you don't have to. It's alright. Comes back.
Well, we'll speak to him after the race.
On the track now, in front of Yano. Is he going to take... What is he doing?
What is he? He can't be battling the leaders.
Jesus.
Or, well, the leaders. You can't be battling the people you're supposed to be letting past. At least with Gran Turismo Sport and that, I believe the back markers do get ghosted.
Yeah, they should be.
They need a sort of, well, for the next F1 game, which, very surprised, which a little bit off topic, a huge shock announcement.
Yeah, there was that.
Yesterday. Hopefully they fix this issue and allow ghosting for back markers, because I mean, everyone's been there. Oh, Esteban's in the middle of the track.
He is.
Esteban spun round at the chicane, and he was on the racing line into turn 2. Right,
so anyone watching the live stream, let's a leader B. Please be careful of the Toro Rosso. He's gone rogue, and yeah, please do watch out for him. He's in between turn 2 and turn 3. He's in the wall. Why?
Marcos is just away to complete lap 9, or complete lap 8 and go on to lap 9.
Yeah, this race actually flying by. But we're not going to give Esteban the attention. That's what he's doing it for, and his place in the league will be put under review after this race. But coming through the main sector now, Marcos looking in control.
Now, puff of smoke. Yep. Marcos through safely. Felix. Oh, Felix. Oh, that was very close. Felix had to dart to
He
the.
spun.
Oh no, he spun. Steve's nearly got into him there. I'm out of this league, but I'm on slow and ugly on the way with a manual gearbox. Oh, so that's Neil's talking about.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that's a shame though. But I mean, like automatic gears, you don't really get much out of them, to be honest.
Anyway, moving on. We got Esteban pirouetting again. In the wall is he, and all this is priority Hugo up into P11, who actually crashed or had an accident early on. He's up into P11, and you know, he's chipping away at the gap to Kevin, who actually got a podium last time out in his debut. So that was quite incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a wonderful performance. I'm pretty sure it will be one that he certainly won't forget that one. You never forget your first race, and that's a very good one. Oh,
Neil's out the session.
not sure. Oh yeah, after his DNF. So maybe he could have crashed just down to not being used to manual gears, and you meant to shift down.
Felix has made a mistake. Felix, a lot of oversteer out of you know, the right-hander, and that's put him down to P3 behind Steve. I believe he kept it. I think he's got front wing damage. Felix has got front wing damage to the front right element of his front wing, or it definitely looks like that. Forgive me if I'm wrong.
Right at the front of the front wing, you can see a little bit's been chipped off, and obviously that little bit can make a huge difference, especially in the corners. So I think Red Bull are going to do a switch of drivers now. It's the logical explanation, or it's a logical solution here.
Felix does stay out, however.
And to switch over.
To be honest, looking at that final chicane, it didn't look like Felix had too much damage. So maybe he will be able to continue. Maybe it's more visual than anything else, but they come up to Esteban, who's pirouetting in the middle.
Oh! Moraine nearly got caught.
Nearly takes out Moraine.
He nearly got his rear wheel caught on the Toro Rosso. Gates coming around turn 2 now. His teammate nearly getting in the way there.
Puff of smoke. Someone's going to think there's an engine failure. As Jarno is in the pits. I believe, is this
maybe?
Front wing damage? Yeah, so onto a set of ultra soft tyres. It's quite aggressive for him to go. Yeah, Esteban finally out the session after his last race in Gprl. But yeah, Jarno, I'm not sure where he would have picked up damage. Could that have been through Esteban?
If it was, it would be very controversial.
Quite possibly.
But we'll look at it after the race. If it is, then yeah, like you were saying before, we'll have to reconsider his place in GPRL, whether he should even be a reserve driver. I mean, that could be a push.
Yeah. That
would be a bit too nice to to keep him in the league. But yeah.
Moving on. We're not far off half race distance. It's flown by actually. The biggest gainer so far is actually Harrison from as Felix actually closes up to Steve, so Felix not struggling too much. Harrison gaining 7 positions up to P6, incredible for him. His first appearance in a while. He is a reserve to this league, but the biggest dropper would be Damien, down 4 places, but recovered well considering the crash on the first lap. Kevin up 2, Jarno down 3, having just made a pit stop though, so you'd expect him to come back through. Hugo has held his position, so I think there'll be a lot of happy faces today. Probably more happy faces than unhappy faces. But Felix is right up Steve's chuff now, and Canada not the easiest track to overtake on, but also not the hardest. So will we see him throw one down the inside of the chicane? Felix DRS activated. Yeah, way too far back, because he's a little bit wide actually, which does compromise his run. So he's going to have to stick behind for the time being, but clearly not struggling too much through the chicane, as Marcos is eking out a gap. 4 seconds now between himself and Steve. This is proper. This is the good old Marcos we're seeing, you know, shades of Bahrain, shades of Silverstone, you know, smashing it is Marcos. So far, Steve has a lot of oversteer, and I don't think that has compromised him quite a lot. Will Felix run one down the inside? He's not.
Oh, it's very close. Oh, I think he tapped him, but I don't think there was any damage.
I don't think there is any damage. These two getting very close. Felix clearly not
Felix
struggling
getting
too
a
much.
very good exit.
Yeah, good exit. He does have DRS. Steve covers off the inside though, just about cleaning off. And Felix is going to have to try round the outside, just about missing the arm code on the outside, picking up a 3-second time penalty. Yeah, trying to do a switchback line. Maybe a little bit harsh, but Moraine has got a bit of a front row seat at the minute.
Oh, he's gone really wide.
Just
Felix.
commentate over this battle.
So yeah, Felix, I think Felix is gonna make a move, run the outside going into the chicane. That would be a very risky one if he can pull that one off. Oh, but Felix, I don't know if Felix meant to go in the pits there, if he got pushed into the pits. Kinda hard to tell, but Moraine has got a really good run on Steve, and he's gonna he's gonna take advantage of that, so...
Steve, still round the outside though, there's going to be contact.
He did go off the track a little bit there, so I think that Steve would have to maybe consider giving the position back.
They're still side by side. Steve, bit of oversteer. Moraine gets the position up into P2, so good job there from Moraine to get that place. Felix now with what you'd expect would be a new front wing. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to have a look. Yeah, it is a new front wing there for Felix, so he will have all the pace in the world, and you'd expect him to close up. Felix has gone on to some fresh...
Oh, Steve's round.
Steve round?
Yep, Steve's round.
Oh, he's in the wall. So Steve, after having a good race, he's lost some front wing. That is signs, the first sign showing that these ultra softs are going off. And that's close you guides right up to Steve. This could be an unlikely podium actually for you guides. The second in as many races as Kevin picked up one last time. We could be looking at one for you guys this time. Do you think it's possible?
Yeah, I definitely think that you guys within a good chance, especially considering he's on the super soft as Moraine's in the pits, so you think Steve would follow him through, and Marcos maybe he might go another lap or two before he comes in for his stop. But yeah, you guys is well being P2 at the moment, but obviously he won't be able to keep that as he'll still have a pit stop to make.
Yeah, Steve does follow Moraine into the pits, but out comes Moraine. He's going to be ahead of his teammate Felix, behind Harrison, though. So Harrison will be on some fresh ultra softs at the end. It'll be interesting to see what his pace is like. But yeah, the Red Bull switch, and believe
Felix is on the supers, so they could be doing. I think it is going to be a one-stop for most of the drivers.
Yeah, definitely. Today. Meanwhile, we've got Amar battling with Kevin. Amar not had the cleanest season so far in Gprl, but he's had a good race. Out. Damien out the race. That's a DNF, so he's crashed somewhere, presumably in Sector 2. That's going to promote Hugo up into P10.
I'll see on Hugo's point of view, see if we can see where Damien is. I think Damien's crashed at the same place that
Nils, possibly.
Oh yeah, Damien's into the wall at turn 2.
Yeah, now we got Marcos coming up to lap these bottom guys, as it looks like Amos sort of dropped off the back of Kevin a bit, and now there's Jarno, the in the Sauber, closing up. It's not been an incredible season for either the Sauber boys, not achieving a win. Only maybe one podium here and there. I can't remember if they've actually picked up a podium, Ryan.
Up yellow flags in sector 3.
Steve, he's off again. Steve's race going from good to bad to worse. He's going to have to do another lap.
Massive front wing damage. I think that's a red front wing on the left.
Possibly. Bumps him down to P9. He'll have to make another stop. So this race not going incredibly for the Spanish driver. But
and also, if he's picked I believe if he's picked the balanced compound, I believe that's the only set of super softs he has, so he might not have another set of super softs to use. So he's gonna have to maybe make another 2 stops possibly. Oh, as
Marcos in the pits.
Jarno and Amar are at it.
Are they? Yeah, sorry. Ooh, Amar trying around the outside. He can't make that work. Forced off the track there by Jarno. I think it was just about fair. And Jarno gets up into P7. But will Amar be close enough to have a go? He has a little look. Very late on the brakes there is Amar, but back on the power. I don't think he'd make it work. Jarno on his fresh ultra soft. Still with another stop to make. Up into P7. His next victim well, if he can get up and close up, who also has another stop to make, is Kevin. Now, Harrison is still... What tyre is Harrison on for you, sorry? He's just got the tyre glitch from me.
Ultras.
So he's made a stop. Right, okay. So Harrison has made a stop onto Ultras. He's going to go to the end of the race. He's going to be rapid.
Marcos is on his pit stop and he's come out 5 seconds ahead of you guys, so...
I think we have a winner. Well, maybe it's too early for me to say we have a winner, but... oh, we said that Moraine is right up you guys' chuff. Yeah, Marcos looking very comfortable at this point. But Moraine is sort of held up here behind you guys. You guys breaking a little bit on the grass. Back on the power now. Will Moraine have the balls to send it down the inside? Will you guys pit at the end of this lap? So, interesting to see you guys staying to the inside, which suggests he's not going to pit. Tuck's back in. And through the chicane now. Stays out, so... You guys on some very old tyres at the minute, and interesting strategy call, as Jana is battling with Kevin through the back straight now. This is going to be a drag race down towards the Wall of Champions. I believe Jana's got the position done. He does, as Kevin tucks back in. Jana up into P6. Jana's on a little bit of an overtaking spree today. I bet he's enjoying himself. But Kevin also in P7. Solid race, you'd say, so far for Kevin.
Yeah, it's been a very good race for him, considering where I believe he qualified about P7-ish, or he maybe qualified a little bit lower down, but yeah, still be a good result from him.
Kevin actually qualified in P11, so he's made quite the change. Yellow flag, Amar is out the session, and he's crashed at the Wall of Champion chicane, right in the middle of the track.
Well,
if that was me, I would call out a safety car right now. I think they should do that. That could be a good game idea. Spectators can call out a safety car. Race director.
I mean,
anyway.
Look at this. Marcos is coming up to Amar now. You can see just how close Marcos got to the car.
Yeah.
So if you lock up coming into the chicane, you're going to go back right into the back of Amar.
And it looks like I thought Felix was going side by side. There was a ghosting there. You guys would have gone into Amar, but thankfully the ghost got him out of the way. But Steve is dropping back again. Actually, I believe he's just got past the McLaren. Yeah, Steve on fresh tyres now with a new front wing is fully functional. I don't think he'll be too happy with himself after the race today. Meanwhile, looking a little bit further forward, Kevin sticking within a second of Jana, but on much older tyres. So you'd expect these two to come on to another set of Ultrasofts, would you say, Ryan? Or maybe they'd try their luck on Hypersoft?
I'm not sure. I don't know what tyres. I believe Kevin. I don't know what tyres he started the race on, but I think he could come in for another set of Ultrasofts unless he used Ultrasofts at the beginning of the race. Then he'd have to use the Supers. But yeah, I think that he could go on to either the Ultras or the Supers depending on what he started the race on.
As Marcos sets another fastest lap of the Grand Prix, absolutely flexing his muscles at the top, and the gap between the two Rebels is coming down. We've seen these two come to battle twice so far this season. Both team orders have come into play, and as it was mentioned quite a lot early on this season, I believe Felix might have actually nipped off a bit of his front wing again. But as it was mentioned early on this season, the Red Bulls get on very well. It's a lot of teamwork going on this season in Gprl. And the Red Bulls don't fall short of that list. But they've been very nice to each other when they've been battling, haven't they?
They have, yeah. I mean, well, one time where it was very close was Brazil. When coming into turn 1, they were always literally... they were almost linked together coming into turn 1, but they managed to keep their front noses clean somehow. But yeah, I think that was due to, I believe they agreed that they would just stay behind one another.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good to see how that they handled it very well. As there's yellow flags. Vector 1, it's Hugo. Hugo's stopped.
Yeah, I think he just let
past.
Yeah,
Okay.
someone through. He's got front wing damage. To be honest, right on cue with his pit stop. I think he was due to come in pretty soon, but yeah, he let Marcos through. no questions asked, and you'd hope he'd do the same thing for the two Red Bulls. But yeah, Marcus in an absolute league of his own, as we've seen a couple of times, you'd say.
Yeah, he seems to have a lot of tracks where he just feels like he's in the rhythm of the track, and he's got his braking points picked out perfectly. He's got his racing line on point. I think that he's got a lot of tracks where he's in his element.
Yeah, and Harrison's actually slowly closing in on Ugait's ahead of him. Ugait still has to pit, so quite an interesting strategy, him staying out this long, maybe going on to the super softs at the end. But he's losing time hand over fist to the other guys, and what looked like a potential podium has now been dashed, and I think he'll be proud with P5 today. I believe Harrison, should there be, yeah, Hugo back in the pits now. Harrison, should there be an incident up ahead? Dare I say?
Penalty.
Yeah, you guys in the pit lane, so that promotes Harrison to P4. Should there be an incident ahead, dare I say, I'm not going to jinx it, hopefully. Should there be an incident ahead, this puts Harrison in a very good position.
It does, yeah, but my only concern would be he is on the ultra softs, and by the end of the race they could be at like 60% wear, so he's got to be very careful.
Meanwhile, Jarno and Ugait's come out very close. That was nearly a bit of contact between them. Can Ugait send one down the inside? Don't think he's going to. Sorry to cut you off there, Ryan, but nearly a little accident there. But 4th and 5th for the Saubers. This is this is better when Yannick usually races.
It is, yeah. Well, first of all, apologise to Yannick for saying
yeah.
that, but
I think Yannick really pulls the short straw a lot. Solid result, but Yannick always manages to pull the short straw, you know. You look too many times this season as they've been taken out. You look back to Silverstone, he was on for P2, and I believe there was contact there with Felix. Yeah, there's countless other times which, you know, I can't remember off the top of my head, but, you know, too many times, and, you know, one day his luck will come, you know. He's begging for the days of Season 2 back. But his luck will come. Meanwhile, the gap between the Red Bulls down ever so slightly. What do you see happening between these two, Ryan? Oh, Jana's back in the pits, by the way.
I think that they could do a lot Brazil and just stay in their positions for now.
Yep.
But because they'll be on similar tyre wear, so no one's exactly going to have a massive advantage. But I think they'll just stay behind each other, because a 2-3 at the end of the day, considering where they started, would be a very solid result for them.
Yeah, quite possibly. But it looks like Felix gains a lot through the first two sectors and then starts to lose a bit through the final sector. But yeah, Harrison in P4, he's looking strong. He is looking strong, considering the time he's taken off from Gprl. I think he'll be satisfied whether it's 4th, 3rd, 5th. I think he'll be quite satisfied. However, he does have Ugaitis and some fresh ultra softs behind him, who may be looking to make a move. The gap seems to be sort of going up and going down a little bit. I haven't really been monitoring it closely. But that may be a battle at the end of the race, because his tyres may go off. So that may cause a bit of an interesting scene. Other than that, I think the rest of the... Go on.
I think with Harrison, I've just noticed is that Hugo is actually in between Harrison and Ugait, so Harrison's got a little bit of, you could say, a little bit of protection from Ugait, because Ugait is going to have to navigate around Hugo at some point. So, yeah, Harrison, he could be in a comfortable position depending on how Ugait gets past Hugo. That's if he does. Yeah.
Just watching Marcos now, he's in. We've said it before, he's in a league of his own today, you know. And the Red Bulls behind, not having the pace, not having the skill today, on a certain day, to match the Mercedes of Marcos. And what I've actually been fascinated in, is the change that Marcos has put in, or maybe not put in, or the change Marcos has gone through between Season 3 and Season 4. Because in Season 3 he was there for podiums, but he was never... I don't think he won a race, and he never dominated. Never dominated.
Yeah, true. It's kind of like a Bottas 2018 versus 2019
It
sort of
is.
thing going on.
Yeah, Marcos is pulling a Bottas on us, and it's incredible to see. And you know, you start to ask the question: can we get a late title challenge from Marcos? Because if things stay as they are, Morane's losing another 2 points at best to Marcos. That's not a great load.
No, it's not. Considering Marcos is, I think he's 50 odd points off of Moraine, I think,
Yeah.
or thereabouts.
Well, the gap from last time stayed the same. As I will get the results up, but yeah, the gap from last time stayed the same as Moraine retired, and Marcos didn't take part, but Felix won last time. So I'm gonna actually update the standings now. If that's alright with you, Ryan?
Yeah, that's good.
So last time Felix did actually get the win. That was a good showing from Felix, wasn't it, last time?
It was, yeah. It was a fun race to watch, as always.
As always, yep. So, Ryan, who have you got your eyes on in this last lap? Or last couple of laps, I should say.
Well, I think if we're going by the current positions and stuff, it's kind of a no-brainer. I'm thinking Marcos for the win. For the Red Bulls, it could be a bit complicated. I think Felix can maybe catch up to Moraine, because it looks like Felix is catching up slightly. So I think that Felix could be challenging for second place. I think Harrison, when he comes out the pits, he could be aiming for P5 maybe.
Yeah, possibly.
He should come out. He'll come out behind Jarno, but I think that he can navigate his way through, gain a couple of positions on. Well, actually, I don't really know. It kind of P5. I was thinking, but I realised that Kevin's only 10 seconds behind Harrison. I thought it was 20 seconds. No, he is.
Yeah, he is.
He is, okay.
Confusing me,
so
right?
So he'll come out between Kevin and Jarno, so... Okay, so I think P5 could still be on the cards, yeah. I got my numbers mixed up a little bit there.
Okay, so... Harrison won't have to pit again, you'd say? It'll be borderline at the end, won't it? With 7 laps to go now.
I would be thinking P5 if he came into the pits, but if he stays out where he is at the moment, I'm thinking, oh, he's just come in, so...
Oh, has he just come in? Ah, yes.
Yeah.
So that's going to promote you guys to P4. As you were saying before, somewhere between the Kevin sort of stage. Jarno is actually quite close behind Kevin. He's been closing up on him slowly. And goes the Alpha guys onto a set of hyper soft tyres, as we anticipated.
I think they'll make it.
They will.
I think they'll make it.
You'd think so. And he gets out quite clear.
Quite
A little bit wide on pit exit. So now he's got to do a Jarno job. So he's got 6 lap fresher, softer tyres. He's got 14 laps to close up a 13.5 second gap to you guys. Do you think he can do it?
Yeah, well, as quoting a Justin Bieber song, you can never say never. As Jarno's proved it in the past at Abu Dhabi, I believe it was.
Yep.
He did the unthinkable and closed, what, 20 seconds in a few laps?
Yeah.
So I think that it's definitely possible for Harrison to catch up to P4.
Yeah, of course. To be honest, I think if Harrison can do this, he's a strong contender for driver of the day.
Yeah, he would be up there with, I think Marcos could be one of the drivers of the day, because I believe he's led every single lap.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think he could contend for driver of the day as well.
Yeah.
I would say Kevin as well, maybe. because he's jumped up a few positions. You
hmm
guys has had a solid race as well, so there's quite a lot of drivers up for contention today.
Of course. Yeah, there is strong showing, and in a lap, Kevin's managed to take just under a second out of you guys. So I think it will be quite an interesting conclusion between the two of these. If I'm honest, do I think I will have to judge it in about a lap? But you know, he's definitely closing, and looking further back, talking about closing, Jarno is very close to Kevin now. It's not been an incredible race for Jarno, but looking at where he started, he's held it. If he can get past Kevin, which he does, pushes him off track. I believe he did the similar thing to, was it you guides earlier? A little bit of contact on the exit. But these two are still side by side. Kevin just ahead into the braking zone, but it looks like Jarno's going to have that moved on. And the Season 2 Constructors Champions, or half of the Season 2 Constructors Champion, gets past the Williams newbie last time out, but he comes back and Kevin breezes past Jarno in a straight line. So good move there from Kevin. Jarno got very sideways out of that final chicane. I thought he was going off. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw him. I was on Jarno's on board as Kevin went past using DRS.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very close from him there.
He was. He did do a bit of a drift. But yeah, I can confirm the standings from Monza have just been updated. Again, I'm a horrible human being. Steve is back in the pits. He's going to go on a glory run on the Hypersofts, but it looks like Jarno's going to look down the inside now.
Yep.
This is going to be a good battle materialising between the two of these. And again, the new guy's giving us some good battles. Jarno around the outside. He will pick up DRS now. And he's going to have to try round the outside into the chicane. The roles have switched from last time. Round the outside goes Jarno. Very good move there from the Sauber driver. But it looks like Kevin's going to tuck back in. He's really giving Jarno a run for his money at the minute. And down the inside goes Kevin. He's going to force him offline, back on the power. Can Kevin get it done? No, he can't. They're still side by side. And you'd think at this point Jarno would now have the advantage. He's got slightly fresher tyres. Kevin does have DRS. He's been pushed onto the grass. Incredible battle then between the two of us, and Jarno giving Kevin the position as Jarno out the session. I'm not entirely sure.
Internet problem.
I don't think they have
Virtual safety cars come out.
VSC, so I'm not sure to why that is. But I think if anything that defeats Harrison's chances of P4. And I'm sure we'll get a message there from Jarno, but the championship standings.
Jarno wants to join the commentating party. I can an invite.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, I've sent him an invite now.
So,
He should be joining, but I think that's the first time we've seen the virtual safety car.
both Red Bulls have pitted. And
and Felix is being held up here, so you guys
is going to get into a podium position.
The wall. I thought you guys went into the wall there. Yep, you guys is on the podium now.
New front wing. Did the Red Bulls come together under the safety car?
Possibly.
A new front wing for Felix. That's going to have him out in anywhere between P4 or P5.
Harrison's got in front of
Harrison is ahead.
Felix, as well as you guys on the podium. I think this will be you guys' first podium.
It will be.
If he holds on for four more laps.
Yeah. Right. Marcos in the pits now. He's got bags of time. He doesn't have to worry at all. So very interesting strategy call from the Red Bull boys there. Bear in mind, we do have
end of the virtual safety car as well. So
bear in mind, we do have the 1 point for the fastest lap rule, which I very nearly forgot about.
Oh yeah. How could we? I don't know who's got it at the moment. Marcos does at 1:10.3. He's a second quicker than the closest driver. So yeah, Marcos got a very fastest lap at the moment. So
yeah, Marcos bags of time clear of Moraine, so we could have a little showdown in the final laps. We got Steve on fresh hypers, we got Felix on fresh hypers, we got Harrison on fresh hypers, or freshish hypers. We got Moraine and Marcos on fresh hypers. So welcome, Jarno.
Hello.
Just talk us through what happened there with that retirement.
No, I just retired. I was absolutely done with this race.
Okay, fair enough. You still do score points there for P9, so getting a couple of extra points for the
Yeah,
team.
I had like maybe almost 30 seconds amount of penalties, so I was
Okay,
absolutely banging it.
right.
And then the lag at the start of the race cost me my front wing, so I had to box again.
Okay, but just give us a quick comment on your teammates' performance up in P4 currently, ahead of the Red Bull. What do you make of that?
I think it's very nice, but Felix is already at the back of him, so he won't get P4, I think.
Yeah, I think it will be interesting in the final show for fast lap.
There's one weird thing. Coming into turn 8, the
Moraine
right,
gets the fastest
right
lap of the
left.
Grand Prix. Yep,
Yeah.
I'm listening.
You know the fast right left corner
Yep.
in sector 2?
Yes.
There on the inside curb of the left-hander was Esteban standing just still. He
I know.
wasn't even moving.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, we noticed
We
that.
touched on that.
Barged in. I barged in. I passed Harrison, and suddenly he was back in front of me. I thought like, what?
So following
And I
Marcos
didn't
now.
even stop there.
Following is Marcos now, as he ends off the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix. Moraine has just set the fast lap of the Grand Prix. Marcos is on hot lap mode. He's going to take the short run to the line. There's a mini qualifying session at the end. A 9-0 fast lap there from Marcos. Can Moraine answer with anything? And Felix, I believe, will also be on a push lap, as he will pick up DRS from both Hugo and Steve. So Moraine now through the final corner. This 1 point extra rule, just like an F1, has spiced things up slightly. I believe Moraine is going for his fast lap right at the end, saving up his DRS, it looks like. So we could see a little change around, just 1 point, but you know, if you get every point between now and the end of the season, it's 5 points, and that could make the difference in the championship as close as Gprl. Meanwhile, Kevin is in P6. He's had a solid race, you'd say, so far. Well, so far.
Yeah,
he has had a solid race.
Yeah, he has had a very good race. He started, I believe it was P11. Yeah.
Yep.
So he's made up a good amount of positions during the race. Also, Ugaitz is still. I think Ugaitz will be able to keep third place because looking at the gap behind him,
Yeah.
he's still got another blue flag car to navigate.
Hang on a
that's
moment, Ryan.
Steve.
But Marcos comes through the final corner now. He's going to win in Canada. He's celebrating.
Moraine's
He's
right.
very happy. Moraine spun. Moraine has
right
spun.
hairpin.
I don't think that's going to cause
it's
you
not gonna be
guys. No. But yeah, Marcos picks up the win. Incredible job from him there. So Moraine pushing,
And he'll
spun
take
it.
the fastest lap as well.
You'd think he will take the fast lap unless Felix has something to say about it. Moraine holds it through the final chicane, and that's going to be him finishing P2. Solid race from him, and getting on the podium, presuming penalties don't say against him. It's P3 for Ugaitz, an unserved stop and go though, which will be converted into a 15-second time penalty come the end of the race, meaning Felix finishes P3. In the official standings, Harrison backwards across the line. He finishes P5, maybe bumped up for P4. Solid race there for the Sauber driver, and Kevin finishes P6. So that was a good race today, Ryan.
It was, yeah, it was very exciting. It's just a shame for you guys. Right in the end, he received, well, it'll be the 15-second penalty, which I believe that'll put him P4, P5, but
Yep.
it'll still be one of his best results.
Yeah.
And he's got to be happy. He's stepping on the podium. I think he should just cherish it, even though he won't be on the podium after the penalties. So.
And
well.
so yeah, I think very fun race. Obviously the Totinator there, very happy of Marcos back where he belongs, as he believes Moraine P2, the two championship rivals, and Ugaitz, who got P3 on the track but not look at the penalties. Jesus. Ryan, give us a quick race rundown.
And well, it was another dominant performance from Marcos. The front Moraine, he worked his way through the field really well to pick up second. Ugaitz with, well, a very solid result on the track. However, he will drop maybe a position or so after we do the penalties, but it'll still be one of his best results in Gprl, which means Felix will jump up to third, so it'll be a double podium for Red Bull, so they'll extend their gap at the top even more. You've got Harrison, a very good result getting to P5 as a reserve driver, so very good showing from him. Kevin in P6, and I believe Steve was behind him as well as Hugo. So it was a very good race for a lot of drivers today, especially some of the reserve drivers really showing just what kind of pace they've got. But yeah, it was a very exciting one.
It was a fun race. Obviously, Ryan, thank you again for joining us. Jana, thank you for joining us at the end.
Yeah, for the last 2-3 laps. Yeah,
2-3
no
laps.
problem.
Lovely to have you here. The Tri-Commentary team doing wonders again, bringing you joy every Friday night at 5 PM GMT. So, yeah, Ryan sort of said everything I think he needs to say in terms of the race rundown. In terms of this time next week, we are travelling. We're not travelling, but we're going to Austria, making its return. Thank you, Jana, making its return to the Gprl calendar. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that'll be a good race. It's been off the calendar for a while now, but you should see a lot of overtaking. Hopefully, it'll be just as interesting as it was in the real life Grand Prix. So yeah, I think that's about it. Again, thank you to the two guys for joining us on commentary. Join us next week at 5 PM GMT to find out what happens next week in Austria. Bye bye.